Boundless Immigration News, Weekend Review, January 14th, 2022. New York City enacts law allowing over 800,000 immigrants to vote in local elections. New York City became the first major U.S. city to grant widespread local voting rights to non-citizens this week. The law will affect roughly 808,000 people, including legal residents on visas, green card holders, and dreamers, individuals who were brought to the country as children, either illegally or with a visa, and are now not in a legal immigration status. These non-citizens will become eligible to vote starting January 9th, 2023 in primary and general elections for citywide and local races. The law does not allow non-citizens to vote in state or federal elections. Supreme Court wrestles with indefinite detention for immigrants awaiting deportation. The U.S. Supreme Court heard oral arguments in a pair of cases Tuesday that will determine whether the federal government can lock up non-criminal immigrants in jail for months or even years while they wait for their immigration hearings. The two cases stem from parallel rulings in the Third and Ninth Circuit Courts of Appeal that found that the federal government must hold hearings for non-citizens with final deportation orders who are still in government custody after 6 months, rather than keeping them locked up indefinitely while the government processes their requests for deportation relief. The Supreme Court ruled in 2001 that the government must provide bond hearings for detainees after 6 months if their deportation isn't reasonably foreseeable. Both cases are expected to be decided by September 2022. Slowing immigration is worsening worker shortages. As labor shortages continue to make headlines, U.S. government data is showing that falling immigration is contributing to the crisis. The number of people entering the United States is less than 1/4 of what it was in 2016, falling from over 1 million to less than 247,000 in 2021. The year-over-year decline in migration into the country means that there are an estimated 2 million fewer working-age immigrants in the country today than there would have been if migration had continued at a steady pace. Combined with steep decline in birth rates identified by the 2020 census and the decision of many workers over the age of 45 to leave the workforce during the pandemic, the cratering of migration into the country is making the U.S. labor shortage worse. U.S. hospitals hire nurses from abroad to cope with staff shortages as COVID cases surge. Hospitals around the country are hiring nurses from abroad to cope with critical staff shortages. Foreign nationals make up about 1/6 of nursing staff in the United States, but demand is increasing as more nurses are out sick with COVID, retiring, or quitting from burnout. Demand is so high that more than 5,000 foreign-born nurses are stuck in the backlog waiting for their U.S. visas to be approved. Meanwhile, for healthcare workers already in the country, USCIS is considering requests for expedited processing of employment authorization renewals. To qualify, medical workers need to have a pending Form I-765 EAD renewal application and an EAD that has already expired or will expire within 30 days or less. Texas sheriff under investigation for routinely seizing cash from undocumented immigrants. A rural county sheriff in southwest Texas is under criminal investigation by the Texas Rangers and Texas Attorney General's office for allegedly directing his deputies to illegally seize money and property from undocumented immigrants during traffic stops. An investigator said that Sheriff Nathan Johnson admitted to regularly taking money from undocumented people during traffic stops, even if they were not accused of any crime, before handing them over to the U.S. Border Patrol. No official charges have yet been filed. Those are this week's top immigration news headlines. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to Boundless for the latest in immigration news. Thanks for watching.